$1,900 or 7 p.m. for those of you that call this meeting to order. Roll call, please, Heather.
Alderman Angel, Alderman Borman, Alderman Lee,
Here.
Alderman Mackley,
Here.
Alderman Simmons, here, Alderman Wilkins.
Present.
All right, we do have a quorum tonight. Alderman Angel said he will not be able to make it tonight, but Alderman Morgan will be here shortly. So, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Consent agenda. Everyone received their packet. Any changes or questions or issues with the previous meeting minutes or anything?
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I have a motion second to approve the consent agenda as written. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda approved. Accounts payable over $12.50. It's on page 22 of your packet.
And I move we approve the accounts payable over $1,250 and a grand total of $589,282.54.
Second.
I have a motion second to approve the accounts payable over $1,250 in the amount of $589,282.54. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved.
When is that, James, is that the last bill we get from them?
I believe there were 2 days in July and they will not bill us until the end of the month.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, at this time, I'll open the floor for comments from citizens. Please rise and state your name, come to the microphone, and name and address for the record, and make your comments.
Art Dollins, 230 South Rollins, Centralia, Missouri.
Thank you.
School year's coming up. I got kids. Kid wants to go out football over night, and I got one going out for volleyball. Got these hanging all over town on all public property around here, do you? The school got them hanging around, do they?
Not that I'm aware of.
Right, well, here's the thing, they had lied and fabricated and manipulated board policy, and after discussing about going to my kids' events, I got the same contrite thing, and a person in a lot of board meetings told me they were never gonna allow me to go. So here's what I'd like for y'all to consider. Y'all gonna stop me from going to my kids' graduation and my kids' football games because they use police force to enforce it. Have a good day. Questions?
You might want to take that sign with you.
No, you gotta do that. You gotta start your collection and start putting them all in place. Because I sense that that's just communities. They think they can write policy to rewrite 200 and something years of American history, I guess, and citizenship. Just place the right liars, line it up, push it through. And it's not this isn't the only community. They're trying to impede participation in a lot of meetings all over the country. I have audited, like I told her, for 5 years. Bubble gum. Yours is a little more complex than theirs. Education budgets are bubble gum. They don't have much money coming in. And they make grand illusions about how it goes out. That's what this is about. Now, generations of liars line up. This thing is reaching its end. And just like that, I got kids getting ready to move on out of the school.
Thank you,
Any
Art.
other questions? Anybody not understand what that sign's representing?
Yeah. Go ahead and take that, Art.
No, it's
We don't need that. You come up here last time and told us your boy was never gonna play for Centralia football. And now you're up here again.
he decided to now. What, see that right there? I'm donating that to the city.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Art.
My kid decided to play.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Thank you. All right. Any further comments from citizens?
I just had a question that, my name is Evelyn Robertson, I live at 221 Sunset Lane. I would like to ask a question. If you were going to purchase a cadet car or go-kart, would you get a gasoline one or electric one?
That depends.
On what?
On,
Pollution?
well, what you're gonna use it for, number one. A lot of golf carts are both a combination of gas and electric.
Combination? I didn't know.
Yeah. It's
I thought it
pretty
was
much
one or the other.
entirely a personal desire. To my knowledge, they both perform equally. I don't have a golf cart, so I don't know, I'm guessing.
I don't either, I'm just trying to.
I've been on golf courses with both, and they both seem to work equally well.
I thought it'd be fun to have one.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, I found out some rules from the police department, but I didn't think there was anything else that you need to tell me about the city rules. There may be.
I mean, we allow golf carts on city streets.
What's the speed limit on a go-kart?
There's a speed limit for-
25 miles an hour unless
Oh,
posted,
that's-
yeah. And you cannot drive them on state highways.
No highway, but you can cross it, can you?
Yes, you can cross 22 and
Okay.
Jefferson.
Well,
Okay.
that's good.
Evelyn, is speeding, is that a constant problem? Are you mindful of speeding or?
Well, she asked me to take the governor off the car.
Just on my street, I am, just on my street, I'm.
All right. Is that where all that rubber's coming from?
I think it is.
Well, I want y'all to know, I might be thinking, I'm thinking about getting one, so.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
It's just because I want one.
And good-
Absolutely.
good luck.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Any further comments from citizens? Okay.
Hi, Jessica Orsini, 231 South Hickman. First of all, congratulations on finally selling 105 North Allen.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we haven't quite yet. It's
It's just about there, thankfully. I'd like to make my opinion known on the Nanogassa building. Nobody denies it's a historic structure. And I believe, truly believe, that Mr. De La Rosa had full intent and continues to have full intent to try to rehabilitate the structure. But I believe that it is beyond his means to do so. He's been trying since before I sat on the council and has lost ground steadily on the structure. I don't think that it is any disparagement against Mr. De La Rosa. I think he's done his best, but I don't think it's the type of thing that one person working on his own, with his own resources, can rehabilitate. It's just too much. If the community really wants to preserve that structure, if it's still possible at this point, then the community needs to come together to do it. Otherwise, I think it's too far gone, and I think it's probably time for the city to take action. Thank you.
Thanks.
May I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Do you think it's the city's responsibility to tear it down if we condemn the building? Would you want that to be the city's responsibility?
I hate to see us have to take on yet another demolition. I believe that when a structure does come to a point where it is no longer feasible to maintain, it is the owner's responsibility if he cannot do so to take it down. However, I'm also aware that under certain condemnation laws, it might become the city's responsibility.
And that could become a huge liability for us if we do.
I understand that, but it's
Far, far more expensive than 105 North Allen.
but it's also going to be a heck of a liability if one of the walls comes down on a car someday.
Maybe.
Thank you.
Just to let you know, I got a call from Mr. De La Rosa last week, and I was out of town. I was unable to contact him back. I called him this evening, and I will be meeting with him this week to discuss what options are available, what his plan is, and so I'm reaching out to Mr. De La Rosa to find out what he needs from us, and you know, if it's what we can do to help him out within reason. So,
Thank you.
thanks. Thank you. Any further comments from citizens? Okay, if not, hearing none, I will close comments from citizens. Economic Development Report by the Chamber. Chamber representative? Anybody here for the Chamber? We got the report in our packet. Don, did Jenny say she was not gonna make it tonight, or?
I haven't talked to her today, so I don't know if it out.
Okay.
You can see on there, on the sheet that, this year was not as good as last year. But it's in line with, several of the last years, an average of the last 10 years.
Bless you.
For Anchorfest.
Salute. All right.
Okay, he's turned.
What's that? Yes. And that had to do with the weather conditions on Friday night. I wouldn't have anticipated this being as good as last year regardless, but
I'd actually expect it to be a little bit worse than different ones. And actually, good.
All right.
I was at that meeting, and I'd like to particularly point out that, as if we need another event for Jenny to work on, she has one, in the Missouri State Bicycle Championship Time Trials, which will run between here and Sturgeon. Let's see. Which is nice and quiet most of the time, and she's working with the property owners to make sure we don't have farm implements out on the road.
that could be an annual event. You know, they're looking for a place to do it. And Centralia could be that place, and they do encourage their people to shop locally and to, visit our restaurants while they're here.
And I believe that she already has some buy-in, some local merchants that have agreed that they're going to be specially open or advertising with gift bags and stuff like that to the attendees. And also that I had made a suggestion to Mr. Blevins, who made a counter suggestion or a supplemental suggestion about trying to use tankers as public art in some manner or another in conjunction with next year's Anchorfest.
Okay.
And also about doing perhaps more on the entrance signs to town to note that we're home of Hubble, the anchor manufacturer of the world.
My daughter is looking for a capstone project for her design degree. interested in something like that. Thank you. All right. Any questions on the economic development report? Let's see. Public hearings, not scheduled, is that still the case?
That's still the case, sir.
All right, action agenda, finance, not scheduled.
None scheduled, sir.
Permits and licensing, same.
Still the same.
Legal. Authorizing contract for sale of land at 105 North Allen.
I can speak to that a little bit.
Okay, please do.
Okay, you have in the packet an ordinance authorizing the mayor and city clerk to sign a contract of sale with Carlin Hatton and Rhonda Hatton for $500 for the property at 105 North Allen. The significant contract terms I went over verbally with Ms. Hatton. I believe all the terms should be acceptable. So therefore, I would say that this is in order. This ordinance is in order to be adopted, and it would authorize the mayor and the city clerk to sign a contract with them for this amount. The closing date is scheduled for August the 9th, Friday, August 9th, on or before. So if, the primary thing that would need to be done would be the ordering of the title insurance. We already have title insurance on the building, so I would anticipate that shouldn't take long to get. And preparing the deed and close it at that time. So that would be the latest time, and that would be before general government meeting, so you all would be aware of the situation by that time.
All right. Alderman Simmons, would you introduce this one, please?
Yes, sir. And bill number, please.
2663.
2653.
Oh, 2663.
2663, thank you. Okay. I move that bill number 2663 be given its first reading by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second that bill number 2663 be given its first reading by title only. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Continue, please.
A bill to create an ordinance entitled, an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor and city clerk of the city of Centralia, Missouri, to execute a real estate contract of sale with Carlin D. Hatton and Rhonda J. Hatton, husband and wife, to sell a tract of land in the city of Centralia, Missouri. I move that bill number 2663 be given its second reading by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second that bill number 2663 be given its second reading by title only. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Continue, please.
A bill to create an ordinance entitled, an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor and city clerk of the city of Centralia, Missouri, to execute a real estate contract of sale with Harlan D. Hatton and Rhonda J. Hatton, husband and wife, to sell a tract of land in the city of Centralia, Missouri. I move that bill number 2663 be adopted by roll call vote.
Second.
I have a motion and a second that bill number 2663 be adopted by roll call vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Roll call vote, please, Heather.
Alderman Borman.
Yes.
Alderman Lee.
Yes.
Alderman Magley.
Yes.
Alderman Simmons.
4.
Alderman Wilkins.
4.
All right, by your vote, bill number 2663 passes, now becomes ordinance number
2730.
2730. All right. Yes, sir.
Pardon me, Your Honor, but was there ever a final total on what that, making that building safe and ready?
Just,
That, pardon me, that lot safe and ready?
if I remember right, I think it was just north of 65,000.
So much is Forest County, our guys doing labor that gets credited to the general fund and not necessarily split up for this project, so it's an estimate.
That's an estimate. So,
I understand. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. All right, next is the re-adopting sections 2-7 and 2-8 of Centralia City Code concerning procedure for disclosure of certain financial and other interests of public officials in matters affecting the city. Discussion there?
Well, has to be done every 2 years with some changes if the state legislature just decides to make changes. In this case, we could wait until next month, but because we have hearings on tax rates and we expect the auditor to make the report, and so it'll be a lengthy meeting anyway. We're dealing with this now. This ordinance readopts what's already exactly verbatim in the code.
There were no changes in the state law, so it's not necessary. You can see in the ordinance, it's been over 10 times, it's been readopted. It's an unusual provision. It allows candidates for city office to file disclosure statements that are not quite as detailed as would be the case if this wasn't adopted. And so we recommend readoption of this.
Okay. So, Alderman Wilkins, would you introduce this one, please?
Sure. Bill number, please.
2664.
I move that bill number 2664 be given its first read by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and second that bill number 2664 be given its first reading by title only. All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, opposed, continue, please.
An ordinance to readopt sections 2-7 and section 2-8 of the Centralia City Code concerning procedures for certain city officials and employees to disclose certain financial and other interests in matters affecting the city of Centralia, Missouri. I move that bill number 2664 be given its second read by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and second that bill number 2664 be given its second reading by title only. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, continue, please.
An ordinance to readopt section 2-7 and section 2-8 of the Centralia City Code concerning procedures for certain city officials and employees to disclose certain financial and other interests in matters affecting the city of Centralia, Missouri. I move that bill number 2664 be adopted by roll call vote.
Second.
I have a motion and second that bill number 2664 be adopted by roll call vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, roll call vote, please, Heather.
Alderman Lee.
Yes.
Alderman Magley.
Yes.
Alderman Simmons.
4.
Alderman Wilkins.
4.
Alderman Borman.
Yes.
All right, by your vote, bill number 2664 passes and now becomes ordinance number
2731.
2731. Thank you. All right. Amending city code to increase fees for impounding and confinement of animals confined at the Centralia City Pound. Again, this is ordinance requires 2 readings. We discussed this at the meeting last week. Any developments or questions anybody has?
Everybody got the memo when last?
Yes.
Yes.
For a while, but we got it through.
Okay. Alderman Lee, would you introduce this one, please?
Sure. Bill number?
2665.
I move that bill number 2665 be given its first reading by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and second that bill number 2665 be given its first reading by title only. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Continue, please.
An ordinance to amend Centralia City's Code, section 4-5, section 4-20, section 4-29, section 4-35, section 4-36, and section 4-40 concerning the fees charged for impoundment and confinement of animals confined at the Centralia City Pound and to make technical revisions. I move that bill number 2665 be given its second reading by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and second that bill number 2665 be given its second reading by title only. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Continue, please.
An ordinance to amend the Centralia City Code, section 4-5, section 4-20, section 4-29, section 4-35, section 4-36, and section 4-40 concerning the fees charged for impoundment and confinement of animals confined at the Centralia City Pound and to make technical revisions.
I move that bill number 2665 be adopted by roll call vote.
Second.
I have a motion and a second that bill number 2665 be adopted by roll call vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Roll call vote, please, Heather.
Alderman Magley.
Yes.
Alderman Simmons.
4.
Alderman Wilkins.
4.
Alderman Foreman.
Yes.
Alderman Lee.
Yes. All right. Bill number 2665 passes and now becomes ordinance number
2732.
2732. Thank you.
Just a point of record, I did note the year that it was last adopted, and if you run through the inflation calculator that's available on the internet, it would allow us to increase it up to $25 just by inflationary, so I think we're well within.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you all.
All right.
When does that start?
Tomorrow morning, if the mayor signs it.
I'll sign it tonight,
Thank you.
if it's ready. All right, purchasing backhoe.
You've got two bids from Henderson Implement and Crown Power and Equipment. We currently have two backhoes from Crown, they're both case backhoes, 580. Phil's backhoe's getting in pretty bad shape. He had to have quite a bit of work here as of late. So we checked in the prices and these are the results. Checking through all the comparisons on them, the only differences I'm seeing, which are pretty minor, they didn't put a rotating beacon, which I told him we didn't need because Mark puts all of our lights and stuff on if we need it. We usually don't have them on the backhoes, not a big item. And toolbox, I believe, comes with the New Holland. And a small one comes with the case anyway, so we don't really need that. But everything else is almost to a T the same. And if I'm not mistaken, these two backhoes are almost identical in every way, even out of the factory. They come pretty much the same spot. But I don't have a problem with either one. Another one is from Henderson Implement at $69,750. As compared to Crown, $71,601.
And they're both out of Columbia, right?
Both out of Columbia. Here's how we dealt with Crown. I asked Henderson about service as far as doing, they have mobile truck that can come up on site and work, or if needed, they could take it back to shop. They said they'd have one available for loaner if we need it. The only issue right now that we can even see, maybe switching the bucket. And I told Lynn the simple answer to that is, if I need a bigger bucket on the backhoe, I'll go get Phil's backhoe, you can have ours.
What will become Phil's backhoe?
True.
We will, the one Phil is using now become surplus and will be disposed of, and we have every reason to believe that we'll get reasonable value out of that. I had budgeted $73,000 for this, and that, we're already below that with the purchase price, and from what Mike's telling me, we better get more than 10,000, probably a lot more.
I don't think that'll be a problem. We'll try to sell it outright, whether outright or go through a sale. I think we can definitely move both of these entities, we both are interested in our backhoe. I think they'll probably, they'd be interested in bidding on it, so.
The new backhoe would be exactly the same as the one we are getting rid of, except that this one will have an extended hose so that we can have better access to some of the utility trenches.
The one Phil's getting has four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive is handy in snow, or if you're in a really big mess in the yard. But if it's just a little mess, I'm sinking quick with that four-wheel drive, so it really doesn't do me much good. So,
And both of these are new.
well, then,
Are there any warranty differences between the two?
I feel like they're all pretty much the same. I mean, the specs are almost identical. The biggest difference I seen in almost any of the specs was the fuel tank. And the one the case has is a 42 gallon, this is 37 by New Holland, and that's the same thing we got right now. So, I don't get a problem.
So you could work longer with the bigger fuel tank, right?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
They're both gonna be good pieces of equipment. I don't think it's probably a waste. So I'd go with low price I don't see that being a problem. I did,
Make a motion.
they did bring us up a demo model, it wasn't a 4-stick for the snow, and it worked fine. There was one in Mexico working the other day, and I actually stopped and talked to one of their operators about it. He said he wouldn't have anything else. So
Okay.
I don't do that.
I'll make a motion that we accept the bid from Henderson Implement in the amount of $69,750.
Second.
I have a motion in several seconds. We accept the bid from Henderson Implement in the amount of $69,750. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. We'll be back with-
Hey,
Yep. All right. Any old business from the Alderman? Thank you.
thank you.
Hearing none, new business. I will be going on vacation from the 7th of August until the 14th of August.
You can call it,
I will be
listen and enjoy.
I will try to call to the meeting. No guarantees. I like listening in on those because it's just
When's that?
the 7th of August till the 14th of August. So Wednesday till Wednesday. All right, is there any checks that need to be signed or something? All right. I don't have any appointments tonight. Because I talked to some people. So. Any new business for the Alderman? Okay. Lynn?
Couple of things. The audit report is in draft form and about ready to go. I'm still writing the management letter. But it obviously wasn't done for tonight, so it will be done at the August regular meeting. I figure it's
Okay.
appropriate to do it in a regular meeting rather than a committee meeting.
Okay, that's good.
No surprises and not brought up any issues, so
Okay.
should be
Thank
as
you.
expected. You should have received quotes. Jenny brought me this day, 3 quotes on replacing the air conditioner that was stolen from the back of the fire station.
In broad daylight, you know what?
Well,
Almost.
it was not there when the trash boys went by.
Okay.
I'm not sure anybody's fixed the exact time it went missing.
Okay.
The fire department's actually training with District 10 today, or Station 10, but they're doing so over at the middle school, so I think they're someplace of comfort.
Okay.
You have quotes that are reasonably close. Browns, 2,800. Robinson, 2,380. Denny does not want all the other stuff that Mr. Robinson is suggesting. Hancock is 2,500. Slightly different in that he's recommending his price include a couple of extra conduits to the attic of the fire station to get the air there quicker. And he is available to do the work in the next day or so. I'm not sure about the rest. Then he did not have any recommendation on this.
The bid from Brown Plumbing Heating here in Centralia says the sum would not exceed 2,800. Do you have an estimate of approximately what it would be?
We're taking that as a quote for 2,800.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
All
he's
three.
around, but he lives outside the city limits, so this is Mr. Robert Robinson. But,
It's in the school district.
yeah. close enough that their Centralia is accepted from the city as a
Where is this going to be
office too.
mounted?
Hmm?
Where is this going to be mounted? Can we put back where it was?
No, Denny wants it mounted above ground on the wall, reasonably high, so it won't be as easily stolen next time.
Okay,
And that, I believe, was communicated to everybody.
okay. So the only difference between Hancock's and Lennox is running some extra lines through the attic?
Yes. And perhaps timing, but I don't. We don't have an indication from Mr. Robinson about when he would be available.
Okay.
Since he wasn't available for today, it's academic, I don't think we have another meeting this week anyway.
So, pick your bid.
Well, Danny's happy with any of them, and the low bid is $23,880. I would say that we should go with the bid from Lennox in that amount. I would make a motion to that.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, I have assessed valuations from the county clerk. They are up, which is a nice thing. Despite the fact that we have another year of depreciation on the machinery and chance block properties up, people started buying cars again and that sort of thing. I've put it into the calculators, and it does not appear that the rates will go up. I would not recommend increasing the general fund or the park rate. In any case, the library, given that this is pretty much the source of revenue, if it worked out that they could increase by a couple thousandths of the mill, I'm sure that they would want to, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to. I can't give you a final determination because while I have the assessed valuations, I do not have the official numbers on what constitutes new construction, and that goes in the formula and it has an effect.
Probably know that in a few weeks.
It came on the 12th last year, so I would expect it any day now. And I will make the appropriate calculations and prepare an ad, and we will have a public hearing before the board at the next regular board meeting, and an ordinance to adopt the rates so that I can get them certified to the county clerk before the end of August, or we don't have a tax lien.
All right. Good then. Thanks.
Lastly, I believe it's the 25th, Thursday, through August 1st, I'll be on vacation. Dennis and I are going to drive to Minnesota and back.
Well,
See her.
well deserved.
For your birthday.
Well, I'll be gone for my birthday, that's a convenience, but mostly it's to go visit her colleague roommate who has severe form of cancer,
Okay.
and that's all the way up in Duluth.
All right.
We'll also see Mr. Reinhardt, if anybody
Tell them
has any messages.
Tell them we said hello from the great city of Centralia.
Reinhardt Construction, Reinhardt.
Yes.
Yes, Joe Reinhardt.
Yes.
Okay, I think that's it.
I know, but some people don't.
Yeah.
Don't know the spelling and everything.
Okay, city administrator. Is done.
He's done.
Okay. City attorney.
I have just a short report about the Maranatha Church building. I have met with the president, who is
Thanks,
still living in Columbia, Richard Wright, and he's no longer a trucker, it's my belief. He's doing labor in the area. He's had an injury to his arm, but he's willing to proceed. He's interested in proceeding. He apologized for the delay. He was well, I didn't get into the reasons, but anyway, he is, I would say, there will be, a good effort to get the property sold, so it will be out of the church's title, in the next several months.
Thank you. Anything else?
That's all I have.
All right. City clerk. That would be nothing? Outstanding. As may arise. As may arise. All right. What's next?
I move we adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second that we adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.
Home run derbies on.